Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Hassan again, and today we have the US oil on our charts, and I'm going to be taking you through how to draw your support and resistance zones on the lower time frames. So it has been a long weekend, but finally we are here. So without further ado, let's go straight to the charts. But before we start, I'll give you 5 seconds. You subscribe to the channel, we proceed. We are past 100 subscribers. We are on the road to 200 subscribers. Step by step we shall get there. So guys, subscribe to the channel and be part of the story and the progress. I'm going to be releasing a lot of content, so you should subscribe and be part of the community. So guys, subscribe to the channel, 5 seconds, and then we proceed. Okay, I hope you're done. Subscribe to the channel. So let's now proceed. So what do we have on the screen? We have US oil, and this is the daily time frame. I know there's 30 minutes here, but forget about the 30 minutes, guys. I rarely go to those time frames. My last time frame is the 1 hour. So this is the daily time frame, and what do we have here? We have US oil. So first things first, you want to draw your support and resistance accurately. You will first have to go on the high time frame. For example, the monthly, the weekly, the daily, the 4-hour, and the 1 hour. People who trade below the 1 hour, you should draw yours on the 1 hour. So this is the I'm going to show you one example on the daily and then another example on the 1 hour. People who trade the lower time frame. So now you have the daily time frame. The first thing you want to do is establish the time frame. Second, you want to go to the line chart. When you go to the line chart, what are you looking for? You're looking for turning points of price action, or areas that price has hit the most times and it has turned around. So what do you have? You have this area here that I already marked. Let me remove this to show you. You see, when I remove it, you have this area here, you have this one, you have this one, you have this one. So now the grievance would be, why don't we mark this bottom one and mark this upper one here? Why do we put it up at the end? We have one in the bottom, which is true. Ideally we should be marking down, or we should be marking each area point like this. You can mark here like this, and then we come and mark this one like this. Okay, so this one makes sense, isn't it? This one, it makes sense because we're marking each area point, which is okay. But now I want you to put one thing into action, into your mind, when you're marking support and resistance. And what is that you have to put at the back of your mind is that you should treat support and resistance areas as zones, not lines on the chart. The lines will help you identify the turning points, but support and resistance area should be a zone. So for example, this zone in between here, in this point and this point, this zone here, this is your support area. Because when price is moving, despite the precision that it puts on these corners here, they are going to be the wicks that it leaves behind, those wicks that pops through. So the precision is with the candle closure, that is the where price closed, but there is a wick that tries to go below, and that wick, like for example, you see this one, the wick came all the way down here. See, the wick came all the way down here, and then retraced and closed above as an engulfing candle. It came all the way but closed above as an engulfing candle. So what tells you that price action came up to around this area here. However, it was not able to close down. The sellers were not able to close down. They pushed price up to up, even engulfing the previous 2 days of price actions. So now if you're marking your support resistance, this whole area has to be considered. Why? Because now if I put my line here on this previous price action here, if you put your stop loss, if you came and bought here and put your stop loss below here, it was not going to be hit. Why? Because it was strategically put on the last area where price action reached. Meaning if price action has to come and go below this area, then we are no longer in an uptrend. The trend has changed. We are no longer in the downtrend. The trend has changed. We are in an uptrend. So we expect that this is going to be our protected low. And this week also, this week here, it is going to be candlesticks. When you go to the 4-hour time frame, they are going to be candlesticks. They are not wicks. So wicks only shows you the trails of price action, where price action has been in the past. I hope you have understood that. So let's go back to our line chart. So line chart shows you that this is where the price closed, here, here, and here. So now when we are drawing, we don't draw here and then we draw here. Why? Because we are going to have a lot of lines on our chart, and our charts are going to look our charts are going to look cluttered. And when our charts are disorganized, that means we cannot get organized trades. So what do we do in instead of this? We don't consider the last one. We consider it, but we don't mark it. Why? Because we want an area that has been touched many times. 1, 2, 3. So this area has been touched many times, meaning it is significantly strong. It is also representing the shoulders of this head here. So now how do we put into consideration of this head? That is now where the zone comes from. You're going to draw your support as a zone. So when you put it here, it is going to take this, and this, also accommodating the head. So that is how you should draw your support. Now resistance. Resistance, you can see I already drew my resistance up here. It was supported here, used as a shoulder here, used as a shoulder here, and also supported here. When we come to this side, it was used as resistance, used as support, and then broke out. And now we expect it to be used as resistance. So we draw it as a zone up here. However, we have very many resistances before we even get to that one. So this is one. Why? Because it was raised here as resistance, use it here as resistance. You see, the wicks touched it as resistance, used here as resistance to even push price lower, and now price action is coming back to that area. So we expect it to be used as resistance to send price down. So what do we see? We see that this daily candle is approaching this previously used as resistance area. So this has to be a strong area to consider for resistance when you're marking your support and resistance. You see, price action is coming back to that area, so you're going to anticipate it to drop down. Are we together? Good. So now what do? We want to draw this because price action has to come all the way. It will come to test this area. It will not stop here. It will come to test this area. So now this is the immediate one. And where is the immediate support? I think now you can guess. We have this and this and this. So we are going to draw our support, immediate support. Remember, this is for the lower time frame traders. So you don't want to deal with things that are going to happen 2 weeks to come. We want to deal with things that are going to happen today, in the evening, or tomorrow, like that. So now you have immediate support and resistance for done on the daily. So where is this one going to be traded? It's going to be traded on the 4-hour, 3-hour, 2-hour, 1 hour. There you go. There you go. So now we currently see price action is approaching our resistance, and you see resistance, price dropped. Price came here, it dropped down. Here it did not reach, it dropped. Now it made a QM, lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high. It is coming back to this area here. Made a QM coming back to this area. So what do we expect when we reach this area? We shall be expecting for sales only if we get confirmation. We shall be expecting to sell if we get confirmation. So we shall wait for price to reach that area. I'm trying to find whether we have somewhere with confirmation, but I think it is in the lower lower time frame. We don't have anything there. Okay, so now you have drawn your strong support and resistance for your time frame trade. You can come to 4 and just adjust. Yes, you see, price broke out, came, sat on this demand zone very clearly, sat on it, and then fired upwards. So this is the 4 hour. I think we can adjust this one to here. So you're set. So you're trading within this range. You're trading within this range. You see, if your price came, you bought here, it went up, reached here. It came, you bought again, it went up, reached here. It came, you bought again. I think this is the strong support here. However, we have the one previous price action here, and this, there was an engulfing candle from this area. So there is no way you can dispute this area. And we hope that if price action comes here, there is a demand zone, supply zone, guys, supply zone. This area here, it is a supply zone, and it hasn't been tested. You see, we still have space above it. It hasn't been tested. So this is our strong support. So waiting for price action to come there, and then we shall be looking for sales after getting confirmation from that area. It is still a valid demand for sales. So if price reaches there, we are selling after getting confirmation in that area. So how do we sell? Put here stop loss slightly above. I always want my stop losses above, not on the area. And then we target the previous low, which is going to be here. So that is a 1:4. So you'll be risking 80 pips to make 380 pips. That is a 1:4, which is a good risk to reward. You see? So guys, that is how you come from the high time frame, for example the daily, and then drive your way to the lower time frames as you're looking for your support and resistances to trade. So we have a supply zone up here, and it is valid because it has not been tested this week. Did not test it. So we are hoping that price action is going to come all the way up to here, and then we shall be looking to sell it to the downwards. So guys, that is all. That is how you draw your support and resistance zones on lower time frame. That has been for US oil, and watch out for US oil. I think today or tomorrow, if price moves well, we shall be selling US oil. So watch out for what I've taught you on US oil about support and resistance. So that is all, guys. So you can subscribe to the channel if you have learned anything. Subscribe to the channel. Also, if you've learned something from the video, kindly like the video for the algorithm to move it to many people. That is all for today, guys, and good day.